Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Yeah? Well, welcome. This is my first time back. My name is John Meyer. I'm the CEO of Lemonly and one of the organizers here of 1 Million Cups. Raise your hand if you've been back since this is only week 3, but since we returned in person, or hybrid, I should say. How cool is this, huh? Dang. I mean, this is my first time seeing it. It's awesome. I told Jeff, for the guys from Pinnacle, I was like, normally I just grab a mic and I walk up here, but today I had like some jitters. It was like a show. I felt like I was going on stage again. So, well, welcome. So excited to be back. And for those on the stream, hello. Thank you for tuning in. We got this on YouTube, on Facebook, and it's just fun to be back here. I was thinking this morning that I dropped my daughters off at preschool and then came downtown and I was like, this event, I don't know how many, 6-7 years in that we are in, is so much more than just people starting companies and entrepreneurs, right? It's really about the community and about supporting entrepreneurs and supporting people who are getting out there and chasing their dreams, and then honestly, like networking and meeting each other, supporting each other. And so I think it was so important to us that we could continue this event after a brief hiatus in whatever format. So whether you want to be here in person or be online, and I'm really glad that we can have 1 Million Cups back because it's a core part of the community in my mind. So thank you all for being here, and yeah, let's do the show. So I've been told it's still pretty normal, but now we have a microphone. So if you have an event, we'll start to our calendar of events. And you may walk up and tell us about your event. You'll get to be on the stream and featured. So come up and, yeah, I know Adam's got an event he's going to tell us about. Events have been a little bit different these days. Sorry, Jeff, I move a lot, so I guess that's that. I want to make you work for it. I kind of ramble. All right, Adam, tell us about the hackathon.
Sure. So my name is Adam Emerson. I work for Stanford Health, and we have the 2020 Health Hack that starts actually next Friday. It's essentially a 2-week asynchronous event that's entirely virtual and it's focused on college students. And the idea is you get pitched a challenge and then you work with subject matter experts from clinical operations and our own IT teams inside of Stanford Health. And then you get 2 weeks to work and then you demo on November 6th. And the top winning teams, first, second, and third, get cash prizes. First place gets $12,000. Second place gets $6,000, and third place gets $3,000, all U.S. currency. So, in case you were wondering,
12,000 rupees. It was
right.
You kind of paused.
I
for
did
a while
have
there.
somebody ask, like, is that U.S.? It's like it really is.
Bitcoin, maybe.
Yeah, that really
be
giving some money away then.
Yeah.
It's really intended to be a very open, very collaborative environment. Last year, we had the first annual. We had 13 teams from 10 different universities, obviously all of Stanford's footprint, but honestly, since it's online, it can be pretty much anywhere across the country. So if you know a college student or you happen to be a college student, there's a way to share maybe the link in post show notes somehow.
Yeah, we can put it in the chat for sure.
Perfect. So yeah, you just go to that link and register, and yeah, you're in the competition.
So you guys probably already know each other, right? Have you connected? Okay, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron you guys need to meet because he's entrepreneurship at USD.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
if you know a student, go win those bucks.
Yes.
So
there's a lot on the line. A lot of swag too.
Isn't there's a community portion of this, right, where we get to vote?
Yes. So
yeah, talk about that.
Excellent point. On the same site, once teams have actually submitted their projects, there will be a public voting period, and you'll actually be able to see all the projects that were submitted and choose the ones that seem to appeal the most to you. So if you think of this year's focus is actually virtual care, so kind of important during pandemic type events, but also important for just any rural community that has limited access to healthcare at all, and also misrepresented populations also tend to have a limited access to physically get into healthcare. So that's what the target is.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, maybe after whoever wins, maybe we'll have to bring them back later, and they can
Absolutely.
share their
Just
idea.
keep it going, because then honestly, that money is they can do whatever they want with it, but
Sure.
ideally, it would be great for them to do some validation of their ideas.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well,
Great.
thank you,
Thank
Adam.
you.
All right, Aaron. Yeah. Little business card. That's all it's all about.
No, it's not my event, but since I seem to be the only one that ever announces it, coming up, what is today, the 7th?
7th today. Yep.
Okay, so 2 weeks from tomorrow is the South Dakota Innovation Expo, and it's run by Enterprise Institute. And that's, so you can go to sdinnovationexpo.com to register. Lots of great speakers. I think the tagline is where suits and shirts come together or something like that. So there will be about a half dozen college students pitching their business ideas. I don't think we made any this year. We did take first place last year, so that's something. Well, you know, you work with what you got, and, you know, my students this year are not as creative as they have been in other years.
Is that what athletic coaches say? You work with what you got.
Yeah. Anyway, I encourage all of you to register and show up, and you can go either in person or virtual. I think they're limiting in-person attendance to 100 this year, so don't dawdle. But I'm sure that if you want to just do the talks and listen and stuff, that the online portion will be good too. But it really is about getting together and supporting entrepreneurship and supporting each other. You know, kind of think of a once a year this on super steroids.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And 10 times as big. So.
Yeah. That's over the Orpheum in 2 weeks. Oh no, sorry, Hilton Garden Inn. Hilton Garden Inn. Changed. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm Jay Sickler with Amy Stockburger Real Estate team. Just as a reminder, we have our November 19th turkey giveaway for current and past clients from 5 to 7 p.m. We also have Santa Claus coming down, so bring your little ones and your pets. Face masks encouraged, socially distancing responsible throughout our office located at 49th and Duluth. We also launched our Sioux Falls Real Estate Sip and See, which is a YouTube channel regarding real estate in Sioux Falls, and it's your guys' channel, so please reach out, subscribe to it. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll address it on the series week after week. On Thursdays, we publish it.
It's like trends and
Trends,
what's
current
going
market
on.
updates, pivots as we pivot throughout the world and as
Sure.
the community changes.
Cool.
Thanks.
Interesting. All right. Oh yeah, Sadie. Sadie, go ahead. This should be sponsored by It should be like the Sadie spot events
The
calendar.
agenda item.
Name it after
I like
you.
It. I like it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sadie Sweer, and I'm with Downtown Sioux Falls. Just want to thank you all because we had a great Art and Wine Walk last Friday. That's what we talked about last week. We've got a lot of great feedback from businesses, so thanks for your support there. I'm just going to quick tell you about 4 things going on this weekend. That's it, really quick. So it's Agriculture Weekend in downtown Sioux Falls. On Friday, the Stockyard Egg Exchange is having a free National Agriculture Day right at the Stockyards Egg Exchange barn, and that's at Falls Park. Lots of free family outdoor events right there. And then the Washington Pavilion is also having an Agricultural Day, and they are having free admission to the Washington Pavilion with, of course, all of their fun activities, but with a lot more agricultural focused events. So that's going on. And then 2 businesses are celebrating 1-year anniversaries this weekend. So I think we should really count that as a big win. But that is the Hotel on Phillips, which is the only boutique hotel in Sioux Falls, and La Luna Cafe. And so La Luna Cafe is having a live musician and a couple other activities on Saturday night at 7 p.m. So you can find more information on that at dtsf.com.
That's awesome.
There it is.
Well, making it any year when you own your business as an entrepreneur is an accomplishment, but certainly this first year, if this was your first year, big props to them. So, all right, anybody else? Anything on the stream, Jeff, that I need to know about? We good? Should we dive in? All right, so one more quick update. You'll notice we want to give a shout out. It's just so cool, just like the faces that come up here and the logos. I'm very impressed. So these are our new sponsors. Most of the same sponsors you've seen before. Of course, our venue. We're so happy to still be here at the Museum of Visual Materials. First National Bank, Zeal, Market Beat, and then Pinnacle is helping us put on this show. So as we've pivoted to this new. We'll get these guys later at the end, but today is October 7th, so it makes sense. There's been a lot of change in 2020, and of course, we want to know what's going on specifically in the entrepreneurial community. I think of Zeal as sort of the kind of the umbrella organization that certainly doesn't govern, but helps kind of facilitate and push forward a lot of the agenda of what's moving in the entrepreneurial community of Sioux Falls. So we thought it'd be appropriate to bring Brienne back up and give us a little bit of update, sort of a state of entrepreneurship as we finish 2020 and look toward 2021. So please welcome the Executive Director of Zeal, Brienne Maynor.
This is full circle today. You know, I usually MC these things, but today I get the chance to have the floor, so I really appreciate that. I just want to, I guess, kind of get back to the basics for a minute and let you all know what Zeal Center for Entrepreneurship is and who we serve. So we'll start with the facility itself. This is a picture of the outside of our building, which is located on the northwest side of Sioux Falls. We are on the Southeast Technical College campus, which has provided us with some great synergy over the years. This was built in 2004. We have 170 individual tenants that we currently serve at the facility, which include 23 different businesses. We are at 91% occupancy, which is kind of unprecedented right now in commercial real estate. As you may know, if you're in the industry, there are folks that are really struggling to fill their office spaces right now due to the pandemic, but we are very fortunate that we have this really vibrant, tight-knit facility in which we can support co-working, we can support physical office space and meeting space. So if you're interested in any of those things, that's really what we do with the physical space. And to kind of talk about the services a little bit, like I mentioned, we do have a physical space available, 45,000 square feet, available to startups in the community, businesses that are looking to host an event, a workshop. We've got some really great space inside of our facility. We also offer business resources. So like John mentioned, we're kind of at the heart of the business community, and we are here to connect. We might not have the answers on our team, but we'll sure try. But we would love for you to come in and meet with us if you're interested in launching a business. And we can certainly connect you with those business resources because, again, we are at the heart of that. We also provide a supportive community. Recently, you may have seen in the news that we merged with an organization called Startup Sioux Falls, which has made a great effort to build up a digital community. So we've got a really vibrant, active Facebook group where you can post your thoughts, your ideas, connect with folks. And also, we've put on some really great events over the past year and a half where we've done some morning marketing parties out at Zeal. We have hosted some socials downtown, and we just want to continue to provide opportunities for people to come together in person. Obviously, that's a little bit of a challenge right now during the pandemic, but we want to get back to more of those in-person opportunities as we move forward. Our team, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the incredible team that we have at Zeal Center. Peter Hauk is our community manager. He's usually here at 1 Million Cups, but today he is in his first session at Leadership Sioux Falls, so I'm proud of him for that. He's a really fantastic advocate for entrepreneurship. His family comes from an entrepreneurial community. He loves Sioux Falls. Like it's just in his blood. He loves this community. He wants to connect, and he's been a fantastic addition to the team. Matt Bruxfort has come on as our property manager. Some of you in the room may know, Thad, that we've had some issues in the past with how to balance owning a building and running an organization. And it can be really difficult. And there have been members of our team in the past that have kind of straddled that line, and it's a really difficult balance. So for me, what I saw as I came into the organization a year and a half ago was that we needed to kind of separate those two things and have a dedicated person to support the people in the building, support, if someone new comes into the building and they need to, get new paint on the walls and change the locks, you know, all of those great things. We need to have somebody dedicated to that. So Matt has been a fantastic addition to the team in that regard. Just recently, about almost 3 months ago now, I want to say, Marilyn Stroh joined the team as our administrative specialist. We can't do what we do without someone running the ship. So Marilyn's got a great background in administrative duties as well as operations. She's really got a wealth of experience from her time at Good Sam and MB, and we've just been really thrilled to have her on the team. She's here today, so thanks for being here. And then lastly, we have added Sarah Lum, who is some people know that name here in town, but she is just an incredible operations mind, if you will. She has come into the team as our intern. She's getting her MBA at USD, and she's just been an incredible addition to the team, helping us with our marketing strategy and just keeping our mission in line. So it's been really great having Sarah Lum on the team as well. In addition to that, we have, as we've merged with Startup Sioux Falls, we have a startup writer, and her name is Andrea Van Essen. So you'll see a lot of printed material from Zeal out in the community on siouxfalls.business, on our own website, and in the Business Journal, and that's all thanks to Andrea's great work. Maureen Ohm is our startup event support, so whenever we host a social event, she's also involved in 1 Million Cups. She provides us with support on that end. We also have 11 board of directors, best board I've ever worked with. They are fantastic, as well as our incredible sponsors and partners. So that really makes up the core of our team. Who we serve, just to be clear, startups would be at the top of that list. Whether you've just started a business or you're looking to scale up, startup businesses are our core. We are also looking to serve students. As you heard from Sanford this morning, and as well as Aaron Spencer with USD, we have some really great relationships with area universities, and we want to engage students as much as we possibly can. Artists and creatives are also a part of this community, and I want to make that known. I don't know that everyone sees themselves as an entrepreneur, but there are a lot of people on the fringe that are very entrepreneurial that I want to see more engagement from, and I would specifically call out artists and creatives as part of that effort. We want to have a stronger relationship with those folks. Restaurateurs, obviously, we live in Sioux Falls. Everyone likes to go out to eat. There's always a new restaurant opening, and we're always thrilled to work with those folks. Small business owners, so just folks that have been in the game for a few years that still need that support or want to become a mentor to startups. We want to make sure that we're cultivating those relationships as well. Last but not least, and probably most importantly, would be the underserved. As we've experienced in the last few months, I think there's been a really great effort by our community in being more inclusive, and that includes everyone. If you have a language barrier, if you just feel like this circle of people isn't, you don't feel comfortable or you feel intimidated, then we're not doing our job. So if there's anyone out there that feels like they don't have a seat at the table and they have a really great business idea that they want to cultivate, I want you to know that our doors are open to you. Our doors are open to anyone. So I just want to make that known. Strategic plan. So we've been working on our 5-year strategic plan over the last few months. And our BHAG, if you will, our big, hairy, audacious goal is that in 6 years, and I'm saying 6 years because this year kind of feels like a gap year, right? Like it's a little weird right now. So we're calling it in 6 years. Zeal will be the source of inspiration for the next big startup founder and the preferred network hub in Sioux Falls. That's really our goal, is to be that center of entrepreneurship, like it says in our name. We have recently implemented EOS Traction as a team, which creates capacity for staff growth and for us to focus on different elements. We want to make sure that we have 100% RPRS, which means right people in the right seats. So that's a big focus of ours right now, is growing that staff capacity so we can focus on programming, entrepreneurial support, community engagement, and strategy. Again, like I mentioned, we own our building. We have a 45,000 square foot facility that we also have to manage. And we are doing our, we're doing our due diligence to figure out how we find support for that so we can focus on the good stuff here. Not that the building doesn't matter, but the stuff to help support everyone in the entrepreneurial community. And one way we're doing that, one big way we're doing that, is with a new accelerator program, which we're excited to announce we will be launching in Q1 of 2021. We have partnered with the folks at CoStarters. Before we signed on as a member of this organization, we did some market research. We reached out to our friends in Fargo, North Dakota, across the country. We're a part of the International Business Incubator Association, so we made a lot of great connections and did our research, and we landed on the fact that this is a really great program. I chalk it up to like a JA for entrepreneurship. All of the materials are at our fingertips. We have a great team of people that are there to support us every step of the way. And basically what this program is, it's 9 weeks. For anyone who enrolls in the program, you're going to have to commit at least 3 hours per week. It is going to be facilitated by local entrepreneurs. So we are currently in the process of going through training. I reached out to quite a few members of the community to say, I want you to be a part of this program, whether that's as a community advocate or as a facilitator. And we have about 30 really wonderful people signed up to be a part of this training next week. So we're very excited to move forward with that. The last thing I want to mention about CoStarters and the Accelerator program is, who is it for? Is it for you? Is it not? We want to make sure that we're clear about that. And this program is for aspiring and seasoned entrepreneurs who are ready to share and pursue a new business idea. So you've been kicking something around and you're not sure what to do with it. You don't need to be very far along in the process to take part in an Accelerator program, but also have a willingness to study, shape, and fine-tune an existing idea. So again, if you're a more seasoned entrepreneur and you're a little bit further way through your business plan, you've got a brick and mortar, it doesn't really matter what stage you're in. An accelerator program is great for any stage of entrepreneurship. So I want to make that clear. Each week will be dedicated to a different subject matter: marketing, business plan, market research, and sometimes, and this is what we've learned from CoStarters, is that even the most seasoned entrepreneur sometimes needs to take a step back and reassess all of those fundamental items that really make a business go. And the other great thing about the Accelerator program is the connections that come with it. We want to make sure that we're connecting you with the right people in our community to help accelerate your business so it doesn't take years and years for you to succeed. So that's really the point of an accelerator program. So watch for more information on this soon. And actually, one more thing that I want to mention. We've reached out to the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce as well as DTSF about presenting this opportunity to the community for those that have been struggling during the pandemic. Any business that has been struggling, which I would say most businesses are struggling during the pandemic. And there is an offshoot program of the CoStarters program called Rebuild, and it's specifically designed for those folks that need something extra to get through this difficult time. And what we're looking to do is we're going to be launching a application process. Probably sometime this week you'll see that application come through. If you are interested and you're willing to commit to the 9-week program, we are going to pay the way for at least 10 businesses in the community to go through. We know you've been through a lot, and we want to give back to you and give you some resources to get you through this difficult time, and especially as we move into Q4, which is one of the most important times of the year during the holiday season. So watch for more information from our organization and our partner organizations, DTSF and the Chamber, hopefully this week. Additional programming, so it's not just CoStarters and the Accelerator that Zeal focuses on. We have a myriad of programs, some of which we support existing programs such as 1 Million Cups. I am a part of the organizing committee for 1 Million Cups, as well as Peter Hauk. We also we will be hosting monthly startup events and workshops, and those would be in collaboration with area colleges as well. We want to make sure that we are folding them into the mix. It's been an interesting journey. We don't have a major university here in Sioux Falls, so it's really important that we keep those lines of communication open with our friends to the north and the south at SDSU and USD, DSU. We've got some really great relationships, but we don't want to lose sight of those students and make sure that they're engaged as well. And another way that we're going to go about that is by hosting some pitch nights for area middle and high school students. So not just at college level, but we want to make sure that those young entrepreneurs are getting a little piece of the pie as well. Location, location, location. I can't say it enough. We must make an effort to meet our entrepreneurs where they are at. Where are they? They're in downtown Sioux Falls. I was at Josiah's the other day, and Josiah's is a co-working space in itself in my mind. You walk in there and you see 10 people you know. Everybody loves that kind of organic environment where they can just kind of randomly bump into someone. They feel like they're a part of a scene. And that's really what Zeal Center for Entrepreneurship wants to continue to cultivate. And we know that we can't just do that out at our physical location. We need to make an effort to be out in the community, which is why we host 1 Million Cups downtown, for instance. On campus is another one. So again, I talk about student engagement. It's really difficult, I've found, to get students off campus. So we need to meet them where they're at. I have had some really great conversations and interactions with the students at DSU. I had a virtual, they pitched some ideas to me over Zoom the other night. And I just want to continue to cultivate those relationships, know where they're coming from, what they need, so we can meet them where they're at. And right now it's all about virtual, right? So we need to make sure that we have the capacity to be able to host these events, networking events virtually as well. So we've become Zoom experts. We've enlisted the help of people like Pinnacle Productions to make sure that we're able to get our message out across the airwaves, no matter whether we're able to be in person or virtual. So that's been a very important piece of the pie. Last but not least, and I feel like I've talked for a really long time, I'm sorry. We want you to engage with us, whether that's membership referrals, becoming a member of our organization yourself, meeting an event space available at our physical locations, sponsoring all of these great initiatives that we're rolling out, or becoming a mentor to a startup business or an aspiring entrepreneur. That's a really important initiative right now with the city, and we want to be a part of that as well. We also ask that you join our startup Facebook group, subscribe to our emails, and you can email me if you ever have any questions about Zeal or want to learn more. And I'll be quiet now so you can ask questions.
All right, let's give it up for Brienne, everybody.
Thank you.
Just want me about here? All right, now it's the question and answer period. I also have the stream open up, so
Good.
To the 40-ish of you guys on the stream, I'll take questions this way as well. So I'll go first, and then if anybody wants to, feel free to come up here, and we'll ask questions on the microphone so that people on the stream can hear as well.
Yep.
I'm really excited about the accelerator deal.
Yeah.
So long ago, 2009, that's how my brother and I got our start.
Yeah.
When actually before Zeal, it was called SDTBC.
SDTBC.
It's like
yeah.
alphabet soup, yeah. And they brought in some consultants from California, and they ran this accelerator, and we applied. I was living in Minneapolis. We moved back to South Dakota. And so you touched on it, because the key with these programs is speed. You know, you can move so much faster. I'd say speed and like accountability, right?
Sure.
Like we all say, hey, I want to start a business, on nights and weekends, and it's just hard.
Yep.
But when you have that mentorship, that coaching, so what's the goal at the end of those 9 weeks? What will somebody's idea look like?
Yeah,
ideally.
that's a really good question. Again, I think it depends on where they're at in their entrepreneurial journey. But for us, what we want to see happen is that they are connected to the community in a much deeper way, where that's them joining us as a member of our organization so they can continue to get support and resources, because 9 weeks isn't enough. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're connecting them and keeping them engaged and holding them accountable, like you said. So checking back in with them, connecting them with some great mentors and resources, hopefully some funding along the way as well. We've got a really strong VC community here in Sioux Falls and abroad.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that we're giving folks the tools that they need. I expect that we're going to have a myriad of business ideas. You know, it's not just going to be tech. It's going to be,
and
you
at
know,
different
all
points.
across the board. So it really depends on the business. But the ultimate goal is to continue to keep them engaged until they've opened their, you know, whether it's a brick and mortar or a virtual location here in Sioux Falls. That's our ultimate goal, is to get business open in Sioux Falls. And a lot of notable businesses have hatched out of Zeal, notably DocuTap. That's probably, you know, everyone knows what DocuTap is, or at least in this room they probably do, as well as Meta Payment Systems came out of Zeal. So that's why one of our BHAGs is to launch that next big startup here at Zeal with our resources. So
Other questions for Brienne? I'm checking on the stream here.
sure. Hey. Oh boy. I'm in trouble now.
You said no softballs on
Nope.
your Facebook
Hit me.
post. No, this is not a hot seat question. But Brian, it's been really fun to watch you assume this role as
Yeah.
leader of Zeal. It's been what, a year and a half?
Year and a
now?
half-ish.
And I think that over the course of those 18 months, we've seen sort of the programming of Zeal really kind of come into focus. And so you should be very proud of the work
Thanks.
that you've done. I'm curious, what has been the biggest surprise since you've taken over Zeal in your role as the leader of that organization?
That's not a softball. Thanks, Joe. So Joe and I used to work together at DTSF, and I really enjoyed our time together and just getting to know the community through my work at downtown Sioux Falls. Moving over to Zeal, I think my biggest challenge and surprise was the building management aspect, if I'm being honest. You know, I knew I was coming into an organization in which needed some direction and new programming and new life. And I'm a connector, I'm a natural connector, so I know kind of who the players are and how to bring people together. So for me, that was something that came naturally to me. But what doesn't come naturally to me is fixing toilets and checking out the roof and fixing the parking lot. So those were some of the surprises that came along the way. Owning a facility is a whole different ballgame, and I do not envy those folks that are in the commercial real estate business or own their buildings. Like, that is so challenging, and kudos to anyone who is able to make that work, because it's a really difficult game. But I will thank again, Matt Bruxfort, who's joined our team as our property manager, as well as our commercial real estate team at NAI. They've been fantastic. They've been a great support. So as we continue to move forward in our journey and look at what Zeal looks like moving forward and where we might land, I don't know that I want to own my own building. I'm just going to be honest about it. So.
That's a great segue, because that's the question I wanted to ask you as well. And this might be maybe too much inside baseball, but then you put location on your slide. So,
I did.
You know, I think Zeal was already headed this way, and now pandemic, of course. I think what COVID has done is just accelerated a lot of things that maybe already were going to happen.
Absolutely.
So 6 years from now, what is it? Do you have a space? Are you kind of ubiquitous? You're everywhere, or do you have a physical location? I mean, you're right. Sometimes entrepreneurship happens in coffee shops and you know, everywhere. Like even with the artists in alleyways, right? Like, what does it look like in 6 years?
We want everyone to dream about Zeal every night. That's our goal. Like, we want to be a household name in this community. And you tweeted the other day about what are some organizations that could use some help with their messaging.
Sure, yep.
Zeal's one of them.
Sure.
You know, we've come a long way. We've been around for a really long time. We rebranded back in, what was it, 2016?
Sounds about right.
With the mayor, by the way, at the helm of our board of directors, which is fantastic that we have the support of the city of Sioux Falls and an entrepreneur sitting in that seat who's super supportive of what we're doing and understands where we've been. I already lost the point of your question. Oh, the location.
Like, do you have a building or not? I mean, maybe you don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but that's something that we're definitely discussing at a board level. We want to make sure, like I said, we're meeting entrepreneurs where they're at. I come from downtown Sioux Falls. I know the impact that the downtown Sioux Falls organization and the business community has had in our community and just how far we've come. And I know the vibrant community that comes with that. And I want to be a part of that, whether that's physically locating or just having more of a presence downtown? Those are questions that the board is asking right now as we continue to move forward. We have a fantastic facility. We have incredible tenants that we're serving, members and tenants. I will say the co-working game has been a little interesting, and I do think that has to do with the location being kind of out on the outskirts of the city versus somewhere centrally located.
Yep.
We do have great parking, Joe. No one ever complains about parking at Zeal, we'll just
Good-
say
good
that. So
tickets,
there
yeah.
are pros and cons that come with this that we're still weighing out, but you probably, like the community will see more interaction from us in the form of surveys. We want to get feedback from you all. The pandemic has completely changed the entrepreneurial game and co-working across the board. We see folks at Sanford and Avera that are looking for co-working spaces now. People are a little bit more open-minded to remote work.
Oh, yeah.
And that's to our advantage.
Absolutely.
So.
We have one here on the stream. Chris asks, what are some of the key reasons to join Zeal, and how can the resources drive success for entrepreneurs?
Sure. Well, when we say join Zeal, again, you can join, there's different points to entry. So if you are a startup, an entrepreneur, the traditional point to entry would be joining us as a member of the
Does
organization.
that mean physically, like with an office space, or
Yeah,
what is
it actually, it's more than just physical. So yes, you get co-working space, collaboration space, access to our event and meeting spaces as well. So that's the physical space aspect. But beyond that, it's joining this really vibrant community of people, including our incredible team, who are incredibly connected to the business community and can connect you to those right resources. Those are probably the two biggest value adds, I guess, when it comes to joining as a traditional member. Beyond that, we have an incredible network of professional partners that have been there to support us along the way, and they see value in the fact that they get direct interaction with entrepreneurs through becoming a mentor to them, helping to advise them, being a part of these incredible programs that we have, the accelerator being the big one coming up. Like, there are opportunities for professional partners to come in and speak at our events, potentially facilitate an event. You know, there's so many different great opportunities to interact and support. So depending on where you're coming from, you can also find more information on our website, which is startupsiouxfalls.com, if you want to learn more about the benefits of joining as a member of Zeal.
cool?
So
Yeah, I think to that last point, we often, as entrepreneurs, we are problem solvers, and so we
Yep.
want to solve all the problems.
Right.
But when you're starting, there's a lot of problems.
yes.
And so anything you can do, anytime you can find someone who's already had that problem or
Yeah.
knows that answer, you go to them, replicate their playbook, move faster.
And it's funny you should say that too. I've seen people come in who are really smart. Like, they're people that I wouldn't expect to be so overwhelmed, but it's because you're one person.
Yeah.
You've got this idea and you know that you need an accountant, you need marketing, where do I start? It's very overwhelming. And that's where we can help kind of unravel, part of our logo has that squiggle in it.
Yeah.
And that really is a testament to the messiness
Sure.
that is entrepreneurship, and just how we can help kind of unravel that hairball for you a little bit and make it a little bit easier. So
I mean, to anybody starting, 11 years into this and still
Yeah.
figuring it out as
Exactly.
we go, right?
Like
someone might act like they have it all figured out, but most entrepreneurs are pretty much winging it as
you
they go.
never do. Nope. And you need continuous support no matter where you are.
Rick, let's go for you.
Rick.
Brianne, I noticed when you were explaining the overall process and so on, you were
Yeah.
very focused in the downtown, which is true to your heart in the past and so on. And at the other side of it too is dealing with the friends of the North and the South,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, the public. But
You bet.
there's been so much value to be gained from Augustana University as well
Yeah.
as University of South, Sioux Falls.
You bet.
Which are local and private and so on, but you didn't bring that. My point more than anything is, how do you look at expansion? You've created a solid seed,
Yep.
and yet you're looking at that blossoming. And what's your vision for the future here, even more so to bring more entrepreneurship and create those relationships that are nurturing and enhancing to all?
Absolutely. That's a great question, Rick. And I sorry if I feel like I skipped over, because those institutions are incredibly important to the ecosystem, and I have a great relationship with both of them. In fact, we had some students from Augustana University present at 1 Million Cups as part of the Holt Prize competition. We want to make sure that they have these opportunities to come in and pitch and refine their skills. So that's really important to me. And as far as Sioux Falls, the broader Sioux Falls community and bringing them together, I also didn't mention that we are partly owned and operated by the Chamber of Commerce and the Development Foundation. So we're kind of this triangle effect, if you will. So I have the president of the chamber and the president of the Development Foundation who sit on my board of directors, and they both appoint 2 board positions. So I have, some at-large, I have chamber appointed, and I have Forward Sioux Falls appointed positions. And together, we are an incredible machine. I know what's going on, and I know where to plug in and get the information I need, or push information out through those channels. Those 2 organizations are working with the greater Sioux Falls community to make this a stronger economic engine, and together the 3 of us are unstoppable in that regard. I feel like I mentioned my great board. It really is. It's an incredibly engaged board who is incredibly connected to what's going on in the community, and I get all kinds of great feedback from them on a daily basis, like, you should be thinking about this and connect with this person. When I think I have a really good network of people, they help me expand and broaden my thought process and my horizons, and it's really helped me grow into the position and help me look beyond what I know, which is the core of our city, and now this 45,000 square foot facility. It's much more than that. It's neighborhood communities as well. I've connected with folks at Dordt College, folks down in Iowa. I'm always on the phone doing market research and trying to connect with regional resources, because again, I think sometimes we have to zoom out and think about this more as like a regional hub for entrepreneurship. The state, so we've got partners out in Rapid City that are about to launch their new entrepreneurial center called Ascent Innovation. So I've been in touch with those folks as well, but I think there's more we can do on a state level, a regional level, and hopefully at some point nationally and internationally as well. Like, I want to be thinking in all of those different terms, but right now I'm focused on the facility and getting this accelerator program off the ground as my first incremental steps. So if I sound, or if my presentation sounded a little maybe narrow focused, it's because I'm kind of laser focused on those things right now. But I'm very much aware of the fact that we are part of a bigger ecosystem.
It's that type of vision and that passion that we pray for.
You bet.
Well,
you bet. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. So one thing I think that's so cool now that we have the live stream is that we can really magnify the people who are watching this. And so I'm assuming, I want to make sure I'm right, but with that 3 hour a week with the accelerator program,
Yes.
if somebody's watching not in Sioux Falls, can they apply and commute in, or how much is virtual, how much is in person?
Yep. So our initial focus is on the greater Sioux Falls area.
Okay.
That's who we really want to try to serve. But yes, like I don't ever want to turn anyone away. So the fact that we will probably be having some sort of a hybrid model at the beginning of the year, we'll see what happens as the year progresses. But we will be going virtually on Zoom for a lot of the sessions. You can also choose to be, at our facility in person, and we're gonna have to figure out all the logistics behind that. But yes, my ultimate goal would be to allow anyone who's interested in an accelerator program. That being said, we do have, partner organizations, so I don't wanna step in Fargo's bounds or Minneapolis, but
in
but
Madison or Brookings or something
absolutely,
like that. Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool. And we had a question, Joe, she asked on the stream, on the membership, what are the different levels of membership and what does it cost?
So we actually took a hard look at our membership levels, and now we basically have 2. One of them is our co-working level, which is $79.99 per month. And again, that gets you the co-working space, access to meeting rooms, access to the community, that sort of thing. And then we also created a nonprofit level, because we know that there are folks out there that can't afford that $79.99 a month, that a lot of times just want to use the meeting room facility to meet as a group. So we've got Toastmasters that meet at our facility, and we just had a real estate group join us as well. So we're pretty broad as far as like who can join Zeal. We want to be, open to that, but we found that having too many levels and the price point that we were at prior was just a little bit too high.
Sure.
So we brought that down, and we've seen some really good interest.
I mean, for the amount of
since then.
space and the services, you're not going to
Yes.
find an office space for $80.
No,
Yeah.
no, you won't.
So-
And we do have office space available as well.
Yeah.
But
and that's another.
that's a different,
tier
we would,
model.
sign a lease with you if you wanted to
Got
go
it.
that
Cool.
route. So.
Cool. We probably have time for one or two more. Yeah.
I wondered when you were going to ask a question.
You and Rick are our mainstay
Ooh.
questions. Yeah.
You mentioned you're looking for mentors. You have to
Yeah.
be a member to be a mentor. What kind of mentors you're looking for,
Yep.
and how you want them to reach out to you. You reaching out to them.
You bet.
Are you flush with mentors, or do you need more? Like, what's the whole mentorship about?
Yep. So mentorship is really on a case-by-case basis. We have a group of entrepreneurial members at our location that we know need to be connected with folks, but beyond that, we do serve the greater ecosystem. So basically, as folks come to us, like we have 3 meetings this week with different entrepreneurs that have a business idea and they don't know where to go. And we'll see what happens with them, whether they join as a member or not. But ultimately, we want to make sure we connect them with resources and mentors. So as we hear of folks in the community, and I want to mention that we're also very much aligned with the Sioux 52 initiative. So our information is out there on the Sioux 52 website as well. You can never have enough mentors in your network, right?
Right.
So let us know if you're interested. You can shoot me an email and let me know I'm interested in pairing with a mentor. I think as we continue to move along with our progress, with our strategic plan and all of our initiatives, we want to build a mentor network where folks, we have a new platform called Nexodus, where all of our members and tenants can log in and they have their own profiles, and we want to get to the point where they can then match themselves with mentors through that network. But either way, like you can also just do it the old-fashioned way and connect people over an email or a coffee or LinkedIn. I'm all about, I'm a natural connector, and I'll find a way to connect you with a resource if you're interested. So I hope that answers the question.
All right. Well, I think we have time. Does anyone in the room have one? Raise your hand. Otherwise, we have one more. I think we're going to take it on the stream. That's cool.
Okay.
All right. So Justin asked, and this is kind of similar to Joe, so hopefully you can, instead of surprise, he said, over the last 18 months,
Yes.
what has been your biggest challenge to overcome outside of COVID?
Yeah, and I won't repeat the building either, but I think the other biggest challenge has just been being a new executive director in this role, in this really exciting organization that is on the cusp of something really, really great. And I think I put pressure on myself to want to get there faster. Like I want an accelerator program for executive directors to be able to make the right choices, because right now it's a critical time to be supporting entrepreneurship. And the pandemic has a lot to do with that. It's not all of it, but I went on the news just recently and talked about why the pandemic is a good time, or during an economic downturn is a good time to become an entrepreneur and start a new business.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind if you're out there kind of wondering and hemming and hawing about what you want to do next. Now is the time for entrepreneurship. Now is the time to make social change happen. There are so many things happening in the world right now that need love and support and innovative ideas. And we want you to come to the table with those ideas, and we want to help you expand upon those and help our country, help the environment. There's so many things that need assistance, and sometimes I wonder if we need to be presenting more problems to the entrepreneurial community to solve, instead of asking them to come up with their own business ideas. And again, that's where I'm connected with different organizations. I'm connected with some people at the Friends of the Big Sioux River who are working on cleaning up our rivers and our lakes. There's just a lot going on, and I think it would be a good idea if you are someone who wants to start a business but you don't know what you want to do, to go connect with people that have real problems that need to be solved.
100%. Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend, and that's been a challenge of mine. I want to see more of that. Again, I love that we have all of these restaurants and retail. All of that stuff is great, but there's more out there, and it takes. I don't know, like you don't have to have a business, you don't have to have an MBA to do this. They come from all walks of life. It's so interesting to see, and it's so cool to see different types of people collide with one another, like creatives and accountants. It's like you kind of need both sides of that too. You can't do it alone, and that's why it's so important that Zeal Center create this vibrant ecosystem for people to be able to connect with resources and get there faster.
Yeah.
So that's really at the heart of what we're looking to do moving forward.
Yeah, and I think you're 100% right. I mean, a lot of pain obviously has come from COVID, but
Yep.
if we're trying to reframe it as an opportunity,
Yes.
you can look at history from the recession in 08, 09 to the dot-com bubble. Some of the greatest companies, startups, waves of entrepreneurship have come on the heels of those moments, right?
Exactly.
So if someone's been wanting to start a company and maybe now got furloughed or laid off, or this is a time you can do it, right? And
You can do it.
there's no failure when you
No.
start a company, because even if you don't, you learn so much. and
But
you
there's
grow.
also lots of failure,
I mean,
right?
there's lots of failure, but
You
but
will fail.
You will fail, but you'll learn.
But
so
you learn
much,
from it.
right?
Exactly.
And I think being an entrepreneur is sort of like an MBA slash, I don't know, all the degree, like a CEO, like all
Yeah.
wrapped into one
Yep.
in just a couple of years.
And honestly, like I don't mean to say this because you're the MC today, but you and your brother like have really paved the way for this in our community, and I'm so glad that you are a part of my network and that you're supportive of what I'm doing. That helps me, want to keep moving forward. I know I'm going in the right direction when I hear positive affirmations from the Meyer brothers. So
Thank you. Yeah, I think I know sounding like saying it's an exciting time
Yeah.
is sounds maybe a little tone deaf, because certainly it's not.
Right.
Nothing about 2020 has been very exciting.
no, lively.
But there is opportunity and there is hope, and I think if we can do this together, a lot of great will come out of it. And I've just been really impressed with how strong the Sioux Falls community has been, and resilient and supportive. So,
It really takes the whole community. It's not just Zeal. It's not just the entrepreneurial community. It's everybody coming together. So
well, we will, I'm sure in the future in 2021, we'll have some of these co-starters, members come and talk or present, I'm
you
sure
bet
in
you
some way.
will see them. Yep.
So if you want to get involved in that program, whether you're going to apply, mentor, sponsor, support, how do we get in touch with you?
Yep. So my email is brian@realzeal.com, or just go to Startup Sioux Falls, or you can join our Facebook community, which is very vibrant and active, which again is Startup Sioux Falls on Facebook.
Cool.
I just appreciate the opportunity of being able to share today, and thank you all for supporting what we're doing.
All right, let's give it up for Brienne. All right, we'll put that information on the stream too, if anybody on the stream is interested in that program or wants to reach out to Brienne. So that is 1 Million Cups for the week. Let's take a look at what is to come here in this month of October. How the heck is it October already? So you'll see, Jeff, can you hit me up here? Oh, it's timed. I gotta wait. I should have been more. I should have vamped better. So I don't have any jokes off the cuff today, but it is really nice out that we can talk about the weather, right? That's what we as South Dakotans are best about talking about, the weather. And so here we go. Okay, here's what's to come. We're gonna get a little. I think I know. What's so cool about entrepreneurship is there's so many companies. Just when you think you know all of them, there's ones you have never even heard of. So I think we're going to go down a little bit of like a science route here this month. I've heard of Nanoparel, but Craig will be here next week. Lance from Glam Systems, never heard of that, but that sounds exciting. Christina, Omega Quant is really cool. We've talked about the governor's Giant Vision competition. So in 2010, my brother and I applied for that. We got second place, and I think we won like $5,000. But we lost to Omega Quant, who got first place. And it seemed appropriate because they're figuring out how to take like omega fatty acids and like help cure heart disease. And we were helping businesses use social media. So like it felt appropriate that they should get 20,000 and we should get 5, but I always remember them. So Tina's awesome. Her dad is the scientist sort of behind that and started that, and she works out there. And then Query.ai. I'm excited about that. I know nothing about it, but artificial intelligence definitely is the future. So that's what we have coming up. Again, you can be here in person like you were today, socially distant, or you can be on the stream. So we're excited for the weeks ahead. Everyone be safe, be happy, be healthy, and we'll see you next time. Take care.